Audible ba ako?
Yes po.
Okay, so good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon, sir. This is my group 2, and we will be starting lesson 2 and the topic of online resources, educational sites, and portals. Next slide po. Ayan, so let us start with this phrase, when you know what you know and do not know, that is true knowledge. So in your own perspective or in your own understandings po, what is your perspective in this phrase? Miss Bautista, what is your perspective in this phrase po?
I think ang tawag na yung term na 'to, being unaware or parang clueless in something, yun yung mas matalino kaysa sa akala niya alam niya lahat.
Okay, so thank you so much. That's nice. When you know what you know and do not know, that is true knowledge. In my own perspective and my own understanding, when you know what you know and do not know, kung alam mo po ang mga alam mo at alam mo rin na may mga hindi ka alam, that is true knowledge. Kasi kung masasabi natin na, kung sinasabi natin na alam mo lahat, is that a knowledge? No. Kasi ang knowledge po, hindi po lahat ay alam mo. So, meaning, there's something that you know and there's something that you do not know. Gets po ba? Kindly react if you get my
Yes,
point. Ayan. So, next slide po tayo. So, in planning a day's lesson, so we as a future educator or a future teacher someday, there is a wide range of references that can be used to relate with learners of this age. Online sources, sites, and portals suggest tools and describe how they can be used to engage learners. So, sa panahon ngayon, hindi na po problema kung paano po tayo makipag-engage sa mga learners po natin. So, we as the future educators, sobrang dali na lang ma-access po ng atin pong mga sites and portals para nang sa ganun ay magkaroon po tayo ng engagement towards our learners. So next slide po natin. So take a look at the image below and identify the iPad apps, Android apps, and web tools. Ayan, so sa picture po natin ngayon, have you checked any of these? Which one will you utilize and which class of learners can you use them? How will you employ the tool in your lesson? So, sa atin pong image ngayon, meron po tayo dyan ng iPad apps, Android apps, and web tools. Sa next slide po natin, makikita po natin dyan ang iPad app. One example of iPad app na nasa image po natin kanina is Telagami. Medyo hindi po tayo familiar dyan, and so as me, medyo hindi rin po ako familiar, pero Telagami is a mobile app that lets you create and share a quick animated video called Agami. Sa next slide, dyan po natin makikita kung ano po ba ang nilalaman ng Telagami. Sa Telagami po kasi, dyan po natin pwedeng gawin ang lahat po nating gustong gawin sa character po na gusto nating i-portray. Ayan, pwede mong palitan yung mata kung gusto mo ng medyo singkit, ng mga Chinese or Japanese, ganyan. Pwedeng-pwede mo po silang palitan. Ayan, yung buhok, yung mata, yung ilong, yung damit, yan. Diyan po natin pwedeng gawin na app. Diyan po natin gawin yung gusto natin gawin through Telagami. So next po ay ang Android app. That is the comic creator. The comic creator invites students to compose their own comic strips for a variety of contexts, pre-writing, pre- and post-reading activities, response to literature, and so on. So next slide. So from the word itself, comic creator. So we can make a story dito po sa comic creator na ito kung ano pong mga gusto natin gawin na stories. So next slide po is the web tool or web app, which is the example voice thread. Voice threading is the future of effective communication in a time shifted world. So yan po yung mga examples po ng Android apps, iPad apps, and web app or web tools. So next slide po. Ayan. So what is educational sites and portals? They are websites that support different educational sectors by providing access to relevant information and tools to each group served. So uh, tayong mga tao ngayon or we as the Gen Z, a lot of information are found in the net kasi nga ang galing natin dito sa mga internet, ganyan, isang click mo lang, andyan na agad. So, this can be explored and studied to determine the relevance to the lesson. So, kunwari kapag may mga ginagawa tayong mga lesson plan or we have a reporting, di ba pumupunta po tayo sa different sites, websites na kung saan we explore and study the information that we have found sa internet and then kung ano nga po ba yung mga relevant na mga lesson na nakalap natin at yun lamang po yung mga kinukuha natin, di ba? So, there are concerned parties that host educational services through websites and portals. Ayan, so next slide po. An educational portal is a specially designed website that provides a host of educational services. So, as I have said a while ago, educational portal, ito po ay isang website na kung saan nagpro-provide po ito ng mga informations, a lot of information actually, na kung saan it can host a education na kung saan, syempre, pag nakakala po tayo ng mga information doon, we as the teacher, pwedeng-pwede po natin itong gamitin para mag-host ng isang klase. Okay, so next po. Ayan, so yan po, ang educational technology and mobile learning is one example that we as a future teacher can be further explored. So this blog site is a rich repository of tools and applications assembled and curated for teachers and educators by teachers. Ayan, so they evidently understand the pedagogical needs, hence the arrangement of categories with corresponding suggested sites or tools, and even applications for Android or iPads. Tools, applications, edtech cards, books, links, and many more are found in categories arranged by subject area or competency. Next slide po. So, sa educational technology and mobile learning, yung administrator of the site allows users to download, print, and share the materials just as long as proper citation is done and that the materials are shared free of charge. So, sa educational technology and mobile learning, marami po tayong mga examples dito. Ayan, so, the administrator of this site daw allows users to download, pwede po natin silang kunin, but don't forget yung citation po natin kasi syempre kailangan po natin ng citation para hindi po tayo magkaroon ng kaso na tawag na dito plagiarism. Okay, so next slide po. So, we as a teacher, ang dami po nating pwedeng gawin, ang dami po nating magiging resources in the future kasi we have been knowledgeable enough sa mga sites and portals na pagkukuha na natin ng mga informations in the future kapag nagtuturo na tayo. So, ano nga po ba yung right mindset of a teacher in using the digital tool? Ayan, so in your own perceptions po again, ano po ba, syempre, 10 years from or 5 years from now, sabihin na natin, let us assume that we are already a professional teachers. We have already the license. So, during that time na license ka na, ano po yung right mindset? Oh my God. Ano po yung right mindset mo bilang isang teacher in using the digital tool? Any volunteers? Ayan, so wala. Mr. Batawil, what is your perception or what is your right mindset in using the digital tool in the future, in your future,
Um,
future?
as a teacher, we need to be more open about using other technologies such as the AI to help us understand that for to help students understand their subjects. So I think that's the right mindset to be open about the technological change.
Okay, so thank you so much. That was nice. Ayan, so it is very important na maging open po tayo, no? And sabi dito, as you prepare to become a teacher by learning how to utilize these digital tools, you need to have the right mindset or a way of thinking how these tools can be effectively integrated in the lesson. So sa next slide, makikita po natin dyan, yung binabanggit po ni Mr. Batawil, a lot of teachers may find it daunting to use a technology tool in a lesson. The anxiety to explore the possibility can be overwhelming, but for one who has the openness to learn and continuously study the features of the tool can possibly lead to a more productive way of designing a technology. So, ang highlight po dito ay openness to learn. Sa next slide, hold on to the positive attitude and openness to learn, nurture the curiosity and sustain the passion to improve practice. So it highlights the hold on to the positive attitude and openness to learn. Kasi nga po, in the digital tool, hindi mo masasabi na yung resources mo ay tama, right? Tulad na lamang sa Wikipedia, it is an editable site. So, hindi mo masasabi na tama yung mga resources mo. So, we need to be open sa mga students po natin kasi minsan sa mga students po natin, hindi natin masasabi na na lahat sila ay hindi pa marunong kasi as time goes by, nagiging mas matalino na ang mga estudyante, ang mga bata sa paggamit or pag-manipulate ng atin pong mga internet. So, we should be open sa corrections po or we should be open to learn. And we should also have the positive attitude and also to nurture the curiosity and sustain the passion to improve practice. So, nurture the curiosity, we should explore more, and we should sustain the passion to improve practice. So, and lastly po, na-highlight po ng right mindset ng isang teacher in using the digital tool is persevere as you learn to adapt to the evolving digital tool, designing a technology enhanced lesson. So lastly, persevere as you learn to adapt to the evolving digital tool. So we as a future educator, uh, the right mindset of a teacher in using the digital tool is persevere as you learn to adapt something. So as a summary of the right mindset of a teacher in using the digital tool, we should have syempre the right mindset, the openness to learn, the positive attitude, to nurture the curiosity, and to persevere. So that would be all. And thank you for listening. I hope you've learned something. If you have any clarifications or questions, feel free to ask. Do you have any questions po?
Po.
Okay, so none so far. We move to the next